one last reader on the first section, and then we're going to take just a very, very short break in order to do the things you need to do to get your attention refocused for our feature performance and to get the stage set up for her. So just a short break, but it gives you a chance to go into Java Monkey and get yourself a cup of coffee or a glass of wine or a bottle of beer or a piece of pie. They got cherry pie tonight. That's good too. You might want to go out there and smoke a cigarette. You got to go out there to do that. Facilities here and everything. Be kind to the folks at Java Monkeys. There's always a big rush, and we appreciate them so very much for supporting us for almost 10 years. Our last reader in the first section, and like I said, the list is still open, but we'll close when the feature starts. Our last reader in the first section is RUFORD.
Take the stage like Obama.
But you're still sexy.
Oh, sexy! I love it when lesbians say I'm sexy. So Teresa told me to memorize this poem, and I sort of memorized it, but you know, like Stephanie there, I got my rescue disc right here. I got my special rescue disc activation glasses too. But anyway, so this is a poem about Clarkston. Clarkston's like about 3 miles this way. And if you guys don't know, Clarkston has been like the dumping ground for refugees from all over the world because the country will take in anybody who's having trouble, which is the one thing that makes me patriotic about America, that we do take in people from all over the world, and they end up mostly in Clarkston. So, you know, there's a lot of kids out there, and they have a soccer team, and so there's some of us who have started tutoring these kids. And it's a real challenge to tutor, you know, kids from all over the world. Some of them have English skills, are not that great. So this is a little spoken word piece about that. You know, and the women who run the tutoring workshop, they are real hard asses. They are very protective, and you might even say they are mean. And this is sort of like a run-in I had with one of the tutoring women. And this is called, the boy that I was assigned, his name is Mohammed. So this is called Tutoring Mohammed. He's 12, Mohammed. He's 12 and already handsome with a widow's peak and eyelashes looking store-bought. His birth country's unknown. We were specifically told not to ask where they're from, but I'm guessing Jordan or maybe Iraq. And the mean head tutor woman also made it perfectly clear that we're not supposed to try and be friends with these kids. You know, no rides home and certainly no loaning of money. So yeah, I get it. I understand that my job here with Mohammed is to just show up after school every day and help him out, to tutor him. Okay, I'm going to the rescue thing. So you understand my role, Mohammed is quite defined. I'm here to help him with his homework, but after a few Tuesday sessions, it becomes obvious that what he really wants from me is a little help as he tries to assimilate into the family of Western culture. He wants to know about Bill Gates. Is it true that he dropped out of Harvard in his senior year? And I have to go, yeah, I think that's so. And then the next question Mohammed really wants to know from me, the questions that aren't in a book. He wants to know, what exactly do Hare Krishnas do? And I'm like, I can't really help you on that one. And then this day, he has a burning question, but he's heard in school, there's a rumor floating around school, and he wants me to give him some truth about this. He wants to know if it is true that Little Wayne is in jail. And this forces me to tell Mohammed, yes, this happened about a year ago. Yes, Little Wayne is in Rikers. What of course brings his next question, what's Rikers? And it's somewhere during my long, colorful explanation of that ancient island prison, how it's out in the middle of New York City in the East River, how it's part of New York City, but it's apart from New York City. This is when the head tutor woman passes by, the head tutor woman who's been acting like I barely passed the background check. This is when she's booming at her back asking, what are we talking about so much with the book closed? And even though I try to give Mohammed the ixnay on the ill way, aim way, he looks straight up at her and he says, Little Wayne, we're talking about Little Wayne. Did you know that Little Wayne's on Rikers? which I think is kind of cool language-wise because it shows that he understands that Rikers is an island. But the mean head tutor woman doesn't think that's cool at all. She says, shut up, quit trying to be friends with him, put down those books, open the books up, and I say, okay. And she reminds me again that I'm not here to be his friend. So we open a psychology book that dulls the boy's eyes like silver polish left on way too long. But as I'm flipping to a chapter review, he sticks his hand out, wham, like a human bookmark. He says he loves this picture and that he showed it to his mother last night. And his mother loved the picture too. It's that famous photograph of Konrad Lorenz, a German behaviorist, who's swimming in a lake, a line of 6 ducklings right behind him. An example of imprinting. These newly hatched baby ducks think Konrad Lorenz is their mother. They won't let him out of their sight. Is that man still alive? Muhammad asked me with a level of interest I have not yet seen from him on any of our Tuesday afternoon sessions. And in that moment, it does not matter how disparate our worlds are. Our dreams are common. We both want to be the man in that picture with the little duck swimming behind him. We both want small animals to love us hard, unconditionally. And even though I've been told not to, I turn on a nearby desktop. I say, let's Google him and find out all about him. Google, Muhammad says. Yes, let's Google him. And we find out that Konrad Lorenz died in 1989, but what a life he lived. He was a doctor from Austria, drafted by the Nazis in World War II, then captured and held for 6 years by the Russians, 3 of them in Siberia after the war had ended. Why the Russians, Muhammad asked. The boy, it turns out, doesn't even know who was on whose side during World War II. So we have to discuss that, how the Russian winter was what finally stopped the Germans, and how the swimming man with the little ducks, oh, how he must have suffered in those cruel Russian Siberian prisons. Those prisons, Muhammad says, they were like Rikers? I say, yes, those prisons are like Rikers. Hitler, the boy says, after I mentioned his name, he had the crazy hair and he stuck his tongue out, right? No, that was Einstein. Einstein had the crazy hair and stuck his tongue out. Hitler had a little mustache, but Einstein was afraid of Hitler, so he ran off to America and taught at Princeton during the war. I see this could go on forever. Eisenhower, the 50s, the Cold War, hula hoops, the civil rights, Elvis, the infield flying rule. But Einstein made the bomb, right? Muhammad asked. Well, I think it was more this guy Robert Oppenheimer, and then I spell the name as Muhammad taps the keys, and then he hits on Google Images faster than I ever thought possible, what brings up a schematic diagram. It's lines, numbers, colorful equations, a picture of a giant centrifuge, and this is when the mean head tutor woman is again at our back, her voice now not so much unamused as hysterical. What are you searching for? What is this? What are you showing this boy? And then she's acting like I've really done a bad thing. She's acting like it's some kind of really huge deal that I'm showing Muhammad detailed instructions for building a nuclear weapon. Picky. People get so upset over the smallest little things. And this, as it turns out, is the last I ever see of the boy. It is, in fact, my last afternoon in my short history as a tutor. And actually, the Department of Homeland Security has been very understanding about the whole incident. My public defender turned out to be kind of hot. She pled me down. And actually, I got a pretty nice cell here on Rikers. Little Lenny and I do squat presses twice a week. And sometimes the guards hook me up with weed. They've even been talking about me starting a tutoring program for the other prisoners, but you know what? I'm not thinking that's such a good idea. Thank you, Java Monkey.
All right, that brings us to the close of the first section. We're going to take just a little short break, let the fire trucks go by. They're going to come back for our featured performance from T. Miller, Natasha.